has come down from the Meacham Tower.
Yeah.
He'll be writing his book on President Trump soon enough. But there are, though, throughout history, bigger-than-life people, colorful people that go out and actually make a splash on the stage.
There are. I mean, Perot is the great example, where you had a billionaire with a populist message. That was a different year.
People think about those ideas. Can we stipulate for the purposes of this conversation that Donald Trump will never be president of the United States? That his lethal danger to the Republican Party, we just showed it, and we're in on it. We just gave him 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Then why are you, then I'm not sure, you know what? We just gave him 5 minutes when...
Remember Mike Barnicle? Of course you don't. Why would you remember Mike Barnicle?
The States are Donald Trump and Ben Carson. Does anyone here on this panel believe that either man will be president of the United States? What does that say about right now in this country, and what does it say about the future of the Republican Party?
Mike, you answer that first. Do you think he can win do you think Donald Trump can win the nomination?
I think he could. I think he possibly could win the nomination. He cannot be president. He will never be elected president.
Mike Barnicle, other than the controversy he created when he was stealing somebody else's writings, and that appealed to Joe Scarborough. So he's a regular. He's irregular, but he's a regular. So here's Mike Barnicle on the Morning Schmo today with the Mika-ized Morning Schmo. Cut 11, go.
And Joe, if you want a metaphor for what Bob Mueller did yesterday, and anybody seeking a metaphor for yesterday, and
let's have a metaphor. Go ahead.
Read the Bronze Star citation for Robert Mueller.
All right, let's stop a second. Is anybody questioning Robert Mueller's status as a military hero? No. Bronze Star, Purple Heart. Now, this is what they do all the time. But Bob Mueller's had a bigger career than just that. Okay? A bigger career than just all that. I don't remember them talking this way about Bob Dole. They trashed the hell out of Bob Dole to get Clinton elected. Even trashed the hell out of John McCain. The Obama media forces did. So this isn't about Bob Mueller's military career. This is about Bob Mueller's conduct and presentation up to and including yesterday. Go ahead.
Went back out onto the field through a field of fire to rescue a Marine who was wounded, a Marine who was working for him. He was a second lieutenant. Out to get the platoon member, to drag him back to safety. That's what he did yesterday.
That's what he did yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he did yesterday? Are you kidding me? These are the same people who draw analogies, absurd analogies between the president and Hitler and so forth. They always go too far. They always go too far. Remember Jeremiah Denton? Medal of Honor winner? POW? I believe he was a Medal of Honor winner, but in any event, a POW. Remember that famous movie, the famous scene where they have a propaganda film? And Denton, who was held in prison for over 8 years, and they beat the hell out of him. But a very religious man, a Christian. He blinked he blinked torture. He blinked torture. To let the Americans know that they were torturing them. He ran for the Senate. He got elected a first term in the Reagan landslide when Reagan's first term was a close vote, but he won. They used to mock him. They used to make fun of his intelligence. They used to make fun of his faith. They would mock Jeremiah Denton, the left, the Democrats. And they defeated him for re-election. Wonderful man. And now to hear this, Mike Barnicle. the left and the media always tries to be dramatic. They always take it a step or 10 too far. And so when Mueller dragged a member of his platoon back to safety, according to Barnicle, that's what he did yesterday. Has nothing to do with what he did yesterday. Nothing. Go ahead.
He was in the field of fire for the country. He went back into
that's enough. That's enough. This guy has a flair for the stupidity, for the stupid. Speaking of Joe Behar, she's another failed radio host, like Scarborough and Brzezinski. Another failed radio host. So she makes it on TV, on The View. The View's basically yentas yelling at each other. Cut 12, go.
They were very disrespectful, I thought, the Republicans. They have a tendency to be disrespectful to veterans in this country. First,
see that? You just say the Republicans don't like veterans. Says this clown, Joy Behar. Go ahead.
Kerry, swift-boating him, a wounded veteran of the Vietnam War. Then it was Meg's dad, John McCain. His service to the United States was minimized and made fun of, basically.
Actually, his service has not been minimized, certainly not by me. John Kerry's service is in question because, as a matter of fact, it's in question, the extent of it. And that's okay. We will question where we think things need to be questioned. And I don't believe anybody has questioned Mueller's service in Vietnam. Nobody. It's amazing what the left does. They eviscerate the military. They do nothing to fix the VA. Tell me, did Joy Behar vote for John McCain against Barack Obama? Of course not. Of course she didn't. Go ahead.
And now this, a guy who served in Vietnam. And President Bone Spurs did not serve in Vietnam, and they have the nerve.
Well, I can't wait to see how many on the Democrat side who are running for president served in Vietnam or anywhere else. Did Joe Biden serve in Vietnam, Mr. Producer? No. No, he didn't. Be interesting to see how many of the 412 candidates on the Democrat side served in the military, if that's now Joy Behar's test. Did Barack Obama serve in the military, Mr. Producer? No, he didn't. Chuck Schumer? No. Nancy Pelosi? No. Schumer in the military? No, I couldn't imagine it. Well, which army would he be fighting for? That would be my question. Go ahead.
Back him instead of this veteran. It really is upsetting. I don't want to hear the Republicans say that they are the most patriotic party anymore. I don't want to hear it.
Who cares what you want to hear, you moron? You clown. How the hell does she have a show? I don't even understand. What does she offer? Just a loudmouth. Just an absolute loudmouth.